Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream, and welcome to all your latest Chelsea news and the draw for the last 16 of the Champions League. The road to Budapest continues. Chelsea will be facing either PSG or Newcastle, and we're going to find out very, very shortly. The draw has started, but as usual with these things, guys, there's a load of nonsense that goes on beforehand, an explanation, a load of thanking people and all that rubbish. And so it's going to be probably, I don't know how long it's going to be till the draw kicks off. I think we're looking at a good 15, maybe 20 minutes. But chat, keep me updated when the draw does actually start, when they start doing bits, so I can flick to the screen and I can watch it. But big up to every single one of you who is locked in. So make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Get involved in the chat as well. Who do you think they're going to get, guys? Who would you prefer, actually? Who would you prefer, Newcastle or PSG? I think for me, for like the glamour tie, for sort of what you would like to see in terms of an away day as well, from a selfish perspective, you'd rather play PSG. But then I suppose in terms of our chances of advancing to the next round, you would probably rather get Newcastle. And if we did get Newcastle, then we would have 3 games in a row against Newcastle, because we would have the first leg in the midweek before we played them in the Premier League, and then we'd have the second leg in the midweek after we played them in the Premier League. So it would be Newcastle away first leg, then it would be the home game in the league, and then the home game in the Champions League. So yeah, that would be a potential triple header, which would be quite mad. But yeah, anyway, guys, get involved in the chat. Get in the chat. Who would you rather have, PSG or Newcastle? Before we dive into it, before we chat about everything, make sure you check out Jerseys FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off, guys. Your retro Chelsea kits, your normal Chelsea kits, other club kits, other retro kits, World Cup kits, international teams, whatever you want. Great quality, affordable prices. Make sure you check out Jerseys FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER. That is enough about that. Let's have a look what you lot are saying in the chat. Like, first leg, we're away from home because we finished top 8. Give me PSG. Big up to you, bro. Come on, you Blues. Absolutely. PSG. Record's not good at St. James's Park. No, it's not. But Newcastle's record at Stamford Bridge is equally as terrible. Newcastle. It's Claudio Ranieri. Is Claudio Ranieri doing the draw, is he? It's Claudio Ranieri. I mean, I'm not really too sure what we're talking about here. Also, what I don't like about this draw is you already know pretty much who you're facing. Why is it a situation where, why can't it just be, once you got to the last 16, why isn't it all 16 teams in the draw? And then you draw it out, so you've got a chance of facing everyone. I don't understand the point of having it where it's all so rigid and also mapped out. Why can we only play 2 teams? Why can't we play any of the other teams? It just doesn't really make an awful lot of sense to me. It just doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me. But obviously, UEFA have got their way of doing things, and obviously it's a money thing and this and that or whatever. I don't know if it's designed to get more bigger sides to the latter stage of the competition or what it is, but it just doesn't seem, in my view, to make an awful lot of sense to have a draw for the last 16 where everyone knows with a 50-50 chance who they're going to play. I would much rather everyone just goes into the hat and you draw it out. But hey, what do I know? It doesn't matter who we get. This is end of our run in the UCL. I don't think so, to be honest. Look, PSG would be tough, but I don't think PSG are unbeatable over 2 legs. You know, they obviously the knockout stage is a different thing, but PSG have not played well at all really this season. I wouldn't be scared of PSG. Yeah, I don't think we'd be favourites or anything like that. I wouldn't be scared of them. Get a draw at Newcastle and then win at home. Yeah, I hear it. Both would be tricky. Yeah, look, both. I agree. Both represent their own challenges. Both 100% represent their own challenges, and both would be tough. Both would be tough in their own right. Both would be tough in their own right. But you'd have to fancy our chances more against Newcastle than against PSG. Admittedly, our record at St. James's is poor. We haven't played PSG in the Champions League since the 15-16 season. So it's been a while since we played them there. Obviously, the last time we met was the Club World Cup final. We did obviously beat them 3-0, as we know. They'll definitely be looking for some sort of revenge. But I don't see why we couldn't advance against the PSG. I think, you would definitely get opportunities. You would definitely get chances against them. And the Newcastle tie would also be a very interesting one. It would be a very interesting one. I'm not a huge fan of all Premier League ties. There's something, I don't know, it just feels a little bit like it not devalues the competition, but it just doesn't feel as exciting. It doesn't feel exciting playing another English team in Europe. But it is what it is when you've got 5 English teams that have all made it through to the last 16, when you've got the Premier League sides who generally tend to do pretty well in the Champions League. The chances of this happening at some stage in the competition are going to be quite high. But look, I don't think anyone's under any illusions that Chelsea, draw dependent, probably don't go much further than the quarter-final stage. Look, if it was one leg and a one-off against PSG, then I'd absolutely fancy us. It's just a 2-leg scenario. But we talk about it being an advantage for us to have the second leg at home. I don't know how much of an advantage that actually is, given how poor our home form has been this season. 6 wins out of 14 at home in the Premier League. Yeah, okay, we did win. Did we win all our games at home in the Champions League? We beat Paphos 1-0. We beat Benfica 1-0. We beat Ajax 5-1. And who else did we have at home in the Champions League? There was one more team we had at home in the Champions League. Oh, Barcelona, of course. So we actually did win all 4 of our games at home in the Champions League. But our Premier League form, 6 out of 14, is terrible. Absolutely terrible. So, yes, having the second leg at home is an advantage, but given our form, I don't know how much of an advantage it actually is. But look, I think both ties have got their pros. Both ties have got their cons as well. And ultimately, at this stage of the competition, when you get into the knockout stages, there aren't going to be any easy games. There's not going to be any easy games. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, right, this is a new competition now. You finish in the top 8. Now this is where the serious business starts. This is where, it's almost a new competition. What happened before really doesn't matter. And when it's the business end of these competitions, when the knockout football starts, sides that have maybe struggled in the league phase, they get themselves together. PSG last season, again, they scraped through in the playoffs and then they went on to win it. This season, again, they scraped through in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to go on and win it, but they are a very, very good team. They'll have a point to prove. And the revenge side of things for the Club World Cup final as well is going to be one that we do need to be aware of. We do majorly need to be aware of that. But look, I'm not scared of either side. I am not scared of either side at all. I don't think any Chelsea fans should be scared of either side either. I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, because according to this, I mean, I'll bring the bracket up once the draw's done. Round of 16 is going to be PSG versus Chelsea or Barcelona. And then it'll be Newcastle versus Chelsea or Barca. No, the bracket's just gone now. But we'll see. We will see what happens. But I think the bracket for the draw, I think we're on the, I don't want to say easier side, but I think it might be the easier side. If we get Newcastle, then we'll then face in the quarterfinals, if we get through, it'll be Atletico Madrid or Tottenham or Liverpool. So we could have, there's a potential for us to have both. I don't even know how this works. I'm not even sure if that is right. No, maybe that's not right at all. Maybe that's not right at all. This is all so confusing. But yeah, I mean, depending on who we get, PSG or Newcastle, I think that determines what side of the draw will be on. But I think it will all become a little bit clearer once the draw's concluded and once they've actually put a decent picture of a bracket up so we can actually see what's happening. But I do think that more than 4 teams from one country in a European competition is a bit mental, really. It should really be top 4 minimum. This extra 5th place nonsense, I know it probably helps us to a certain degree. What do you mean? Would I go to Newcastle in the Champions League? Yeah, I would go to Newcastle in the Champions League. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate it. Yes, big up. Smash the likes. Yeah, guys, run the likes up. How many likes are we on at the moment? 29. Guys, keep smashing the likes. Let's get this up to 50 likes minimum. Let's keep it stepping, people. Let's keep it stepping. Guys, how are you feeling about our chances in the Champions League anyway? What are you thinking? You thinking we're going to go out in the last 16 quarterfinals? Do you think we can get further? For me personally, again, it's draw dependent. I said at the start of the season, I thought we would get to the quarterfinals. But what I would say, right, based on what we've seen in Europe so far, the top European teams, I think they're the weakest they've been in quite a while. Maybe outside of Bayern Munich. Real Madrid don't look good at all. Barcelona, I think you can get at them. The Italian teams, no big Italian teams are in there. You've got Galatasaray in. Leverkusen and these sorts of teams. So you look at it and you think the top European sides for me aren't as scary as what they once were. They're really not. And other than Bayern Munich, I wouldn't be that afraid of too many of the top European teams. All English ties, yeah, okay, they might be a little bit different in the Champions League, but they're still fairly similar. And here we go. Rakitic is swirling around the first balls. Right, who's coming out here? I don't really get how any of this works, but we're about to find out who has been taken out of it first. Rakitic struggling to open it here. Yep, the classic dry your hands on your suit, geezer. Come on. You can do this, mate. There. Oh, no, he's still struggling. He can't open it. Oh, he's had to hand it over to the geezer. Oh, Rakitic. Fucking hell, mate. Open it, son. Right, it's now open. Jesus Christ. And Rakitic has opened Manchester City. Manchester City straight out of the first ball in the draw. And Manchester City will face Real Madrid. Of course they will. Of course they will. It's Real Madrid, Man City, with Man City away in the first leg. Real Madrid and Man City, it's just rigged, isn't it, at this point? It's just absolutely rigged at this point. The next one out of the thing is Sporting Lisbon. So Sporting Lisbon then, by my calculations, will face Bodo Glimt. Yep, Bodo Glimt versus Sporting Lisbon. So you're going to have one of Sporting Lisbon or Bodo Glimt in the semi-finals of the Champions League, which is kind of mad. Now we're about to find out Chelsea and Barcelona. One of those teams will be coming out next. Rakitic has swirled it round. Here we go. And it is. It's Chelsea. Chelsea out. We are now about to find out who Chelsea will be playing. It's Chelsea against PSG. Of course it is. It's Chelsea versus PSG. First leg away from home. Chelsea, PSG. What a surprise, eh? What a surprise. Chelsea will face PSG and it's going to be Barcelona versus Newcastle. It's what we wanted, chat. It's what we wanted. It's a rerun of the Champions League, of the Club World Cup final. Chelsea will face Paris Saint-Germain. Fuck's sake. Oh, well, it is what it is. Here we go. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back now. Chelsea versus PSG. Chelsea versus PSG. It's a big one, guys. It's a big one. Let's make no mistake about it. This is a massive tie. It's Galatasaray versus Liverpool. Galatasaray did beat Liverpool in the league phase. I think they beat them 1-0, or was it 2-1 or something? Spurs against Atletico Madrid has also been drawn. So, yeah, there we are. There we are. Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain. What are we saying, people? What are we saying? Chelsea, PSG. We've been cooked here, haven't we? It feels like this lot are getting the ties that they want. Real Madrid, Man City, Barcelona, Newcastle, Chelsea, PSG. Fuck's sake. Why? There we have it. I mean, Man City, Real Madrid, Galatasaray, Liverpool, Newcastle, Barcelona, Chelsea, PSG. Maybe Leverkusen, Arsenal. I mean, I don't know, chap. Is PSG a better draw for us? Is PSG a better draw for us, chap? I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if it is or not, to be perfectly honest. But this is so rigged. Yeah, it feels like it. We are out. Bro, I wouldn't go that far. Cole Palmer masterclass against PSG. Arsenal have the easiest game. Potentially. I mean, I'd also say that Bayern Munich against Atalanta is not particularly taxing. I'd also say that. But yeah, it's typical, isn't it, chap? It's absolutely typical. It's not a good thing for us, but maybe it's not as bad as what we think. Maybe it's not as bad as what we think. Well, to be honest, bro, we might have to win the fucking competition to get back into it at this rate. We might have to win it to get back in. But it is Chelsea versus PSG. I don't know. Because is there a train of thought to say that PSG might be a better matchup for Chelsea? Obviously, we know that Newcastle don't possess anywhere near that same quality as PSG. And the PSG that we faced in the summer isn't the same PSG that have been playing this season. No night game at St. James's Park. By the way, I'm not suggesting the atmosphere at the Parc des Princes or going to PSG is an easier task, but you want a European tie, don't you? Let's be honest, chat. You want a European tie. You don't want to be facing a team in a competition where you have that game twice every season anyway. And it would have been 3 games in a row. And also the St. James's Park factor would have been massive. The St. James's Park factor would have been big. The team needs to test their level again against PSG. Absolutely. Bro, we never do things the easy way. We never do things the easy way. But do you know what? I don't mind that, chat. I'm not against this draw. I'm not against this draw at all. I'm reasonably happy. I want to see what the bracket is, though. I want to see what the bracket is for us in terms of this draw. What's the bracket? Yep, everyone give a lovely round of applause. Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. Right. Is there chat? Can anyone find the bracket for the Champions League and what the route to the final potentially might be? Can anyone track that down for me? Here we go. Big up to my guy Alexis, who has provided the bracket for the Champions League. Those of you asking for PSG, enjoy that. I did not want this path. Last 16, PSG. Last 8, Galatasaray or Liverpool. Semi-final, Real Madrid, City or Bayern. So that if we get past PSG, the chances are we're going to face Liverpool. For fuck's sake. Yeah, Zombie, send it to the DMs as well. You've got like a proper, more conclusive breakdown. That would be ideal. But yeah, that's not looking great. PSG, Galatasaray, Liverpool, Real Madrid, City, or Bayern in the semi-final. That's peak. Our side of the draw is a shambles. Has it gone in my requests? No. Yeah, bro, send it over when you can. What else have we got going on? Yeah. Oh, is that another? Is a DMs has just come through? The DMs are popping off. Any DM now? Oh, come on. That's taking a piss though. Yeah, not come through yet. So yeah, look, PSG again. Palmer, you know what to do, brother. You know what to do. By the way, Arsenal's chance, by the way. Oh, here we go. Fabrizio's done it. You can always rely on Fabrizio, can't you? I'm telling you now, chap, if Arsenal do not make the Champions League final, something's gone wrong. Look at this. Look at this. Can we see this okay, chat? We can. Exactly, bro. This is what I'm saying, brother. Monaco scored 5 goals with a red card in both games. You can score goals against this PSG team. Monaco showed that this PSG team can be gotten at. They can be gotten at. We've got the worst side of the draw, both for the last 16 and the last 8. Even potential semis is long. Look at the other side of the bracket. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you. Look at this bracket here, right? So we're facing Galatasaray or Liverpool, and then you would face Real Madrid, City, or Bayern. Look at this side of the draw, right? Arsenal are going to make the semi-finals, chat. Arsenal are going to make the semi-finals, and then from there, anything happens. You would expect, and again, football is not done on paper. It doesn't ever go to... It doesn't always work out how we think it works out. However, Arsenal are going to face Leverkusen in the last 16, and then they'll face Bodo Glimt or Sporting in the quarterfinal. That is a disgust. Look how easy that run is for Arsenal to the final, to the semi-final. You'd expect it to be Arsenal-Barcelona in the semi-final. But again, you don't know. You never know, chat. You would expect it to be Arsenal-Barcelona, but you just don't know. For us, we've been royally shafted. We have been royally shafted, chat. I think Arsenal are going to make the final. I think Arsenal are going to make the final. Arsenal almost guaranteed to make the final. Liverpool or Galatasaray in the quarters. This, for me, and I hate to say it, this is Arsenal's best chance of winning the Champions League. Well, I wouldn't say they were in the final, but you'd be shocked if Arsenal didn't make semis. You'd be absolutely shocked if Arsenal didn't make semis. And unfortunately for me, and I'm sure a lot of people might agree, this is where the new format loses me big time. Because there should be a draw for every round. Now you've just got this predetermined dross and the route to the finals already mapped out. This is where I'm out on this Champions League, on this new format, where that's it now. There's no more draws. The whole route to the finals mapped out. There should be a draw for every round. That's fair. The idea that your path now to the final is mapped out in the last 16 is ridiculous. It's a worst case scenario for us in terms of the draw. But let's be real, chat. No one expected us to win this game anyway. No one expected us to not win this game, sorry, to get to the final of the Champions League or to win the Champions League or whatever. But the idea now, you've got PSG and then you're probably going to face Liverpool. Whilst you look at Arsenal against fucking Bodo Glimt and Bodo Glimt or Sporting and Leverkusen. I mean, we've got 5 of, and this is interesting now as well, chat. 5 of our next 17 games are away. 5 of the next 17 are away. But hey, seven of the next 9 are away. 7 of the next 9 games away from home. Yeah, that's good. That could be an expensive bill, chap. Could be an expensive bill. By the way, guys, we're 85 in the building. Make sure you are smashing that like button. Get this up to 50 likes as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible, chat. Quickly as possible. Smash the likes. Run it up, run it up. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. We'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, home form is grim as well. Home form is grim. I mean, I don't know if it's rigged or not, but the fact that the same teams keep getting drawn against each other and certain teams get easier draws most of the time. Now, I'm not saying it's rigged, but I'm saying that something a bit weird is going on. Something a bit weird is going on. Can you confirm the next 7 away games? Arsenal, Villa, Wrexham, PSG. So the next 4 are all away. So the next 2 Prem games are away. FA Cup's away. First leg of the Champions League is away. We then have Everton away. And then we have, I need to check after that. But 7 of the next 9 are away from home. Everton away. And then, yeah, Brighton and Liverpool. Yeah. So 7 of the next 9 away from home. Yeah, the Arsenal side, Arsenal got a Europa League draw. Arsenal got a Europa League draw. And this is what I dislike about this draw format. Is this predetermined dross. No, I can't lie, chat. I'm pissed off about that. I am pissed off about that. No, I'm not happy. No, I'm not happy, chat. It's just like it devalues the competition for me. It devalues it, chat. Arsenal got away with that, and Arsenal fans will say, "Well, yeah, that's what we should be rewarded with because we won 8 out of 8 games and we finished top." And you could maybe hear that to a certain extent, but I'm not having it. I'm not having it, chat. I'm just not having it. I just don't think it's right. That I just don't think it's right, chat. But you know what it is? It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it now. And no, we didn't really give ourselves any chance in this competition anyway. So it is what it is, isn't it? Oh, guys. Oh, dear me. Who did they play to finish top? They played Bayern. They had Kairat Almaty. They were away at Bilbao. I mean, I can't remember all their games. Bayern finish second and get rewarded with Madrid and City in the quarters. Yeah, no, bro, I hear it. I hear it. I absolutely hear it. I do think it's a bit of a nonsense. I do think it's a bit of a nonsense here. Just jammy bastards. But we bring it on. We don't forget. We do not forget what Luis Enrique did at full time. We do not forget, chat. Luis Enrique was out here trying to assault Joao Pedro. He was confronting our team after we slapped him up in New York. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this very much. 100%. 100%. The thing is, Charlie, I can't even be bothered about this draw. We as a club aren't showing ambition. None. Season could end today and I couldn't care less. No, I hear that to a certain extent, but whether we're frustrated, which we are, there's still a lot to play for this season. There still is a lot to play for this season. But our status now as the only team in London with a European Cup is it's under threat. It is under threat. It is under threat. I can't lie. But there's also bad news, chat. Potential bad news. Because the second leg should be at Stamford Bridge. But as it stands, Chelsea will play the second leg at Stamford Bridge, but it is under review by UEFA due to policing. If UEFA have any integrity, they would keep it how it is because neither Atletico or Leverkusen would cause trouble in London with PSG. I agree with this. So right now, it's second leg's meant to be at Stamford Bridge, but because of Tottenham as well being at home in the second leg and Arsenal being at home in the second leg, there could be policing issues and there's the potential things could be switched around. But you can't be doing that. The integrity. Yeah, it's bollocks. You know, if you're going to have a competition, right, you keep the integrity in said competition. You don't start moving legs around for the Champions League because of fucking policing issues. You think about that beforehand when you're doing all the admin work for these competitions. The idea that you thought, oh, hang on a second, guys, there's going to be 3 games in London. That shouldn't be a surprise, chat. That shouldn't be a surprise. Shouldn't be a surprise. But to be honest, I think we can knock them out. I think we can knock them out. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible at all. But yeah, I swear, if fucking if UEFA dare think about moving the game about, they've got another thing coming, chat. They've got another thing coming if they're plotting some sort of a madness by moving our shit. And of course, it's Arsenal. They get the easiest draw. Europa League settings for them. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The only way I'd be scared is the semis. Yeah, look, to be honest though, let's not get too ahead of ourselves because it's silly to get ahead of ourselves in these situations, chat. But if we were to get past PSG, I'm not scared of Liverpool or Galatasaray. I think we could take Liverpool over 2 legs. I don't think that's ridiculous. I don't think that's ridiculous at all. But yeah, look, we're on the dirty side of the draw, no doubt about it. If we'd had Newcastle, we would have been facing Atletico or Spurs, and we probably would have then met Arsenal in the quarters. So, yeah. Well, they better. And the thing is as well, that they can play these games over 2 days. They could play these games over 2 days, the Tuesday and the Wednesday. So you would play Chelsea and one of the North London clubs on a Tuesday or Wednesday. You just don't play both North London clubs on the same day. Like, this is not difficult. This is not difficult. I'm no policing expert or anything like that, but this to me seems very straightforward. I mean, look, you prefer the PSG draw because it's a proper European tie, but this route now is real tough. You would have definitely have preferred Newcastle, no doubt about it. In terms of advancing to the next rounds, Newcastle would have been it. But hey, it is what it is, isn't it? It's some fixtures are going to have to be moved around, but I'm going to be fuming if they do anything about moving our thing. Because if they move our thing, then forget any integrity that UEFA had. How long is Dembele? I don't know how long Dembele's out for. I don't know how long Dembele's out for. I don't know. I think for Newcastle, because they've not been in the Champions League that much in their club's history, they'll be absolutely delighted with that. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. But for us, it's good that we're away first, for sure. You'd always rather have the second leg at home, 100%. But the second leg at home is only an advantage if you're still in the tie after the first leg. PSG leading to Liverpool. Oh, it's just annoying, this. It's annoying. But hey, it is what it is, chap. Nothing we can do now. It's done. We have, bro. But as I said earlier, we've actually won all 4 of our Champions League games at home. We beat Ajax, we beat Paphos, we beat Benfica, and we beat Barcelona. Yes, our home form is diabolical in the league. But in the Champions League, we've won 4 out of 4. 4 out of 4 wins in the Champions League. Yeah, he shouldn't be out for long, but I think he could be touch and go for the for the game. Yeah, path to the finals bleak. Not that we were getting there anyway, so it is what it is, isn't it? But we've got serious business to take care of before that. We've got serious business to be taking care of, chat. Serious business, because we've got the Gunners this weekend at the Emirates. These guys need to be slapped up. These guys need to be slapped up. No, they won't. Arsenal and Spurs won't play at home on the same day. One will play on the Tuesday, one will play on the Wednesday. That's what will happen with that. Arsenal and Spurs will not play at home on the same day. By the way, chat, keep smashing the likes. We're over 100 in the building. Only 65 likes. Let's get this up to 100 likes as quickly as possible. Run it up. Run it up. Oh, disappointing, chat. Disappointing. How are we feeling about this Arsenal game? I'm honestly so deflated after Burnley. Yeah, Arsenal game's going to be tough. Arsenal game is going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. There's absolutely no denying it. Yeah, don't play tossing. We're fine. Don't play tossing, and we're fine. I would agree on that. I would agree on that. We've got the Rossinia press conference at 1:30. Yeah, we'll obviously not staying live till 1:30, but I'm sure. Look, the only information we'll get is what's happened to Esteval and is Cucurella fit. I don't think there'll be anything else worthwhile from that. Rossinia press at 1:30 p.m. Yeah, bro, this is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying, people. We don't just owe it to ourselves in terms of qualifying for the Champions League. We have got a duty, not just for ourselves, we have got a duty for the greater good of the English game. We have got a duty to derail this Arsenal title charge. So we need to step up for the greater good of the game. We need to step up for the greater good of the game. That's what we need to do. But yeah, running it back. Need to get that PSG travel. Need to get that PSG travel sorted. I forgot what I was about to do something, chap. Oh yeah. No, JP's not suspended. No, The only player suspended for the Arsenal game is Wesley Fofana. Everybody else is available in terms of so there's no Cucurella, unlikely to be Esteval, and you've got the usual absentees in Colwell, but everyone else outside of that is fit and available. But look, this is a huge task, huge task. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it at all. Oh, it's just a bit deflated chat about this. Oh. Chat, I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them, chat. I'm confident that we can do PSG. But anyway, let's talk Arsenal. Let's talk Arsenal, guys, because that's the next task at hand. That is the next task at hand. I'm starting Reece, Trev, Sarr, Hato Sunday, and try pack midfield with. Yeah, look, that's the back line that I would go with. I wouldn't be against Action Pong playing either, but that's what I would go with. But yeah, you know, as has been said in the chat, the last time we beat Arsenal, 2021. Nah, that can't run. That cannot be allowed to happen. That cannot be allowed to happen. And to be honest, in the 3 games we have played against Arsenal this season, we done very well in the league game at Stamford Bridge. But then in both Carabao Cup games, I didn't think we were up to much. What else is coming in? Just hope it's fixed or what? How is Arsenal path so clear to the final? Those are European. Yeah, look, unfortunately, the way it is, as has always been the case with draws, is that it's luck. It is luck. However, I think it's fairer to have a draw after every round like it used to be, rather than the predetermined situation. But I mean, to be honest, maybe beating Napoli wasn't the best of things for us. You know, would it have been better to have 2 extra games against Karabag to then get that side of the draw against Newcastle? I don't know. This game in isolation can be a good start to go on a run and give the team confidence to do something this season and prove us all wrong. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. It's a bad draw. Big up to you, bro. We have to beat Arsenal on Sunday. We do need to win. We do need to win. I think the most important thing is we must not lose. We must not lose. And I know that might feel like a bit of a defeatist attitude, but we must not lose, chat. We must not lose. But I look at the game and I just think our best opportunity, chap. Our best opportunity is to best opportunities to play safe, to play it safe in terms of getting into the latter stages of the game. Make sure we will make sure that we're still in the game, because if we try and take the game to Arsenal, we try and play the football, and we find ourselves a goal or two down inside the first 10-15 minutes, that's going to be a major problem. That's going to be a major problem. So for me, we need to stay in the game for as long as possible, and then look to go for it from there. Similar to the look, I would have no issue of us employing the same tactics that we employed in the Carabao Cup, except we go for it at half time, because those tactics in the Carabao Cup, they worked to an extent, but we were obviously helped because Arsenal didn't need to score in the game. Obviously, Arsenal need to score in this game, so they're going to have more of a go at us than they would have done in the second leg of the Carabao. So there's going to be an interesting situation brewing there. Yeah, it seems to be. It seems to be the case. But look, there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to deal with the situation and with the task at hand. But I look at this and I think, right, there's big decisions that have got to be made. Who Rossini goes with to partner Chalobah, who he opts to go with at left back, the positioning of Enzo Fernandez. Does he have him occupying that sort of wide right space or wide left space again, which I don't think really suits him? Is Cole Palmer going to be on form? There are a few question marks going into this game. There are absolutely a few question marks going into this game, and I for one think this is going to be tough, people. This is going to be tough. This will definitely be tough. I want us to take this game to Arsenal. That's direct against them, gives them problems for now. The thing is, though, like we've not been playing that well either. You know, we haven't been playing that well either. So yeah, I think this is going to be. This will be interesting. This will be interesting. Guys, make sure you keep running the likes up as well. But 83 likes. Let's get this to 100 likes as quickly as possible. Run it up, chat. Run it up. Smash those likes, people. No update on Steve. No, there's a press conference at 1:30 p.m. UK time, so about an hour and a half. And I would like to think the journalists would have the intelligence to ask about Esteval, but there's no guarantees these days. But I would hope that someone would ask about Steve. So we need to wait and see. We need to wait and see on that one, guys. We need to wait and see on that one. But there's not really too much more news at the moment on the Arsenal side of things. But yeah, look, Chelsea, PSG. I don't know if they are or not. But look, ultimately, they've still got to win those games. You'd expect them to win those games, of course they would. But you know, stranger things have happened in football. Stranger things have happened in football. There's no denying that. But if I was an Arsenal fan, which thank God I'm not, if you don't make the semi-finals minimum or get to the final, that is a huge failure. Huge failure. But the problem is, though, at some point, all those games in the Champions League as well, getting to the latter stage of the Champions League, that's going to affect your league form. By the way, I'm not saying that City should just, bomb their game against Madrid, but it could be in City's favour in terms of the league to bomb out of the Champions League in this next round against Madrid, and then just focus on the league and the FA Cup. Because at some point, when you're going for a league title, something's got to give. Like, something's got to give, chap, at the end of the day. Something's got to give. And maybe that is better for City to bomb out the Champions League and just focus on the league. But this is a real pivotal moment now in the season. A pivotal run of games. Oh, God. Sunday we must. Sunday we must. We cannot allow these red frauds anymore. We cannot allow them anymore. These red frauds must be stopped. We cannot allow it, chap. We cannot allow it. These red frauds. These red frauds, I'm telling you now. We need to be on business on Sunday. We need to stand up and deliver a performance that we've not been capable of delivering this season. If you actually look into the actual key takeaways from the articles, the actual sort of headline stuff is nowhere. It's it's nowhere near as bad as what the headlines make out. Look, obviously, it's not an ideal scenario to find ourselves in, but if you actually read behind the headlines, there's lots of stuff has been floating around, as we know, about, the huge losses, the record losses from those UEFA rules and regs. But Chelsea are not going to face any punishment, And look, a lot of us dislike the current ownership, but the bottom line is Chelsea are not going to incur any penalties due to this loss. They're not. From The Athletic, who broke it, it should not, however, lead to greater penalties being imposed on the club. As part of the settlement agreement entered into with UEFA last summer, it was agreed Chelsea's 24-25 football earnings deficit could be kept in line with the projected deficit submitted in the business plan. In other words, provided the loss remained at the level Chelsea signposted to and agreed with UEFA, the terms of the settlement agreement would be met. Sources say this was the case. So look, whilst we've recorded major losses, if you actually read behind sort of the buzzword headlines and the sort of the scaremongering headlines to a certain extent in some quarters and what people have been saying and whatnot, it's actually not going to be there's not going to be further punishments accrued. The thing is, Barca have already been to Newcastle and won earlier this season. They've already been to Newcastle and won earlier this season. So, I mean, yeah, look, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. No loophole. Just the conditions that we've entered into. No, bro, I never want Chelsea to drop out of any competition. You know, I don't want us to be sacrificing anything. Champions League is a big opportunity. We need to be going for it. We need to absolutely be going for it. So yeah, look, in terms of that financial stuff, according to club sources, according to the Athletic and whatnot, no further penalties are going to be incurred. So that's the way that it should be. That's the way it should be. I can't tell you how much I despise Arsenal. Chelsea, PSG again, Arsenal. We must. I'm telling you now, guys, if you're thinking of planning any funny business on Sunday afternoon, just forget it. Just absolutely forget it. Don't you dare think about planning any funny business on Sunday afternoon. Yeah, I think so. I maintain that. For me personally, I think we need 4 points. I think we need 4 points from these 2 games against Arsenal and Villa. Otherwise, I think the top 5's done. I really do. 4 points required. So let's wait and see. Bro, to be honest, if they bottle the league, that's enough for me. A league bottle is more than enough for me. I'd be more than happy with that. Chat, we're 8 likes away from 100. Make sure you are smashing that like button. Let's get these final few likes chalked off. Get this up to 100 likes, people. That would be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. So make sure you are running it up, people. Make sure you are running it up. Make sure you are running it up, people. PSG, it's revenge time for them. Yeah, it'll be a tougher game over 2 legs for sure. But I'm not. Look, obviously, PSG got top quality, got a great manager, got unbelievable players, but they're not playing very well this season. For me, I think we can definitely get at them. I think we can definitely get at them, chat. And I don't think that's an outrageous thing to say. I fully believe that we can get at these guys. I fully believe that. Fully believe that we can get at them. But yeah, look, big run coming up. Arsenal and Villa away, Wrexham away in the cup, then PSG away. Yeah. Peak settings, chat. Peak settings. Yeah, I agree to an extent. I mean, I'm not too fussed about Bodo Glimt against Sporting Lisbon, but yeah, most of the ties outside of Bodo Glimt, Sporting, and Arsenal Leverkusen are pretty good. Yeah, and this is something that also could maybe help us, is the fact that Rosenior knows PSG pretty well. The team has not changed much from last season. I'm pretty sure he played them this season with Strasbourg anyway. I think they bottled a 2-goal lead. But yeah, Rosenior will know PSG well. He'll know what they're about. So that's also there's also a positive in that regard for us. So yeah, look, having Cucurella back is going to be vital for that. There's no denying it. Having Cucurella back for that is going to be huge. But yeah, outside of that, I think it's I think we're in a pretty good. I think we're in a pretty good scenario. I think we're in a pretty good scenario. Whew. Anyway, we need Cucurella back. Look, we basically need everybody available. Everybody available. Bro, we got PSG in the draw. We got PSG in the draw. Feelings on Sunday, going to be a tough game. But we've got to get something out of it. We've got to get something out of this game. We're now at a critical phase in our race for Champions League qualification. Critical phase. We can't be affording to throw away more points. We can't be throwing away any more points. If Villa beat Wolves tonight and we don't beat and we lose to Arsenal, that's a 6-point swing. A 6-point swing. And at that stage, I think you'd have to say we're not overhauling Villa. You'd have to say that we wouldn't be overhauling Villa at that point in time. So, yeah, bro, this is critical, guys. This is absolutely critical. No, Cole is not out for Sunday. Yep, next 2 games massive. We, as I've been saying, we have to get 4 points from the next 2 games. These guys need to lock in. We can't afford to be making silly mistakes. We can't afford to be making silly mistakes. Because at the moment, we've been letting ourselves down big time. Concentration's got to be there. Players need to be locking in and they need to be on it. And we just got to put in a decent level of performance. But we're showing that we're playing some good attacking football, but we're making the same old defensive mistakes, and our discipline's letting us down. Those are things which must change. Those are things which must change. Whether they will change or not, I don't know. But those are things that must change. Pivotal moments coming up. Pivotal moments. I swear, if we make any individual errors on Sunday defensively, or if we get stupid red cards on Sunday, I'm going to be fuming. I'm going to be absolutely fuming, chat, because it's just so stupid. It's so stupid if we do that. But hey, what do I know at the end of the day? What do I know, guys? What do I know, eh? But yeah, look, it's looking a bit. It's looking techie for us. Oh, dear me. Dear me, chat. Not ideal. I mean, what are you lot in the chat thinking score prediction wise? Does anyone in the chat fancy us to get anything out of this game? For me personally, I think the best we can get is a draw. It's not impossible for us to win. It's definitely not. But I would be very, very surprised if we won on Sunday. I'd be very surprised. I really don't expect us to. I don't expect us to win. But as long as we take points off Arsenal, that's the most important thing. The most important thing is the thing is though, like I don't think if we missed out on Champions League that there wouldn't be a fire sale. You know, that wouldn't be happening. There wouldn't be a fire sale. So look, if we missed out on the Champions League, I don't think much changes. We got Champions League football last summer and we signed Gittins, Garnacho, Delap. You know, getting Champions League football in terms of what we seem to be doing on pitch doesn't actually seem to make an awful lot of difference, chap. It doesn't seem to make an awful lot of difference. So, yeah, you know, I wouldn't be too. Yes, I will be. We will be there. We will be there. It's got 1-1, 3-2 Chelsea, 2-1, 1-0 Chelsea, 3-2, 2-0 Arsenal. Yeah, my concern is that to get anything out of this game, I think we need to score more than one goal. I think we've got to score more than one to get something out of this game. And because defensively, we're just not at the races. That for me, there's no way we're keeping a clean sheet. There's no way we're keeping a clean sheet, in my opinion. Particularly even with our full back four available, we've been making mistakes and letting goals in for fun. With half of it missing, there's going to be a bigger problem. So yeah. That's where we're at, chat. That is where we're at. Keep smashing the likes as well, people. Run it up, run it up. Let me see if anything else has happened, anything worthwhile. Let me bring up this quickly. First leg will be on the 10th or 11th of March. It's not confirmed yet. This is our March. So we're away at Arsenal on Sunday. Then we're away at Villa on Wednesday. And then we're away at Wrexham the following week. So PSG away is the 10th or 11th of March. Then we've got Newcastle at home. And then we're home to PSG on the 17th or 18th. So, yeah, it's the PSG game is either going to be next Tuesday. Sorry, it's going to be Tuesday the 10th or Wednesday the 11th. That's going to be the PSG game. That's what we're going to be looking at, chat. Arsenal, Villa, Wrexham, PSG, Newcastle. The second leg's at Stamford Bridge. The first leg at the Parc des Princes. We're just waiting for that to be officially confirmed, but that's what it's meant to be. That is a very, very tough March coming up, guys. A very tough March coming up. 6 fixtures, 3 different competitions. But this is what you live for. This is what it's about. Playing the best, high-pressure environments. And it's time for you to stand up and be counted for. It's time for you to deliver. It is time for you to deliver. Time for you to deliver. Simple as that. Simple as that, chat. It's all about delivering. No, it's not back-to-back Villa games. There's no back-to-back Villa games. Arsenal and Villa are back-to-back. So Arsenal Sunday, Villa Wednesday. And then, yeah, we've obviously got Wrexham in the cup, PSG, Newcastle, and then PSG. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Are we going to be at all of those? We'll be at all the home games. We'll be at Arsenal, we'll be at Villa. Wrexham's going to be tough to get tickets for. And then PSG away. Why not? To the little trip to the City of Love could be ideal. Could be ideal. We'll have to work out all the admin on that shit. But yeah, that's the plan, chat. That is the plan. But yeah, that is a tough March. Really tough March. Yeah, I'll be at Villa. Yep, be at Villa. So yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at, chat. That is where we're at. We are we going to round? No, we got a few more minutes to go. Still, people. We got a few more minutes to go. Let me just see if there's anything going on. Liam's press is at 1:30. 1:30 UK time, so wherever you are in the world, 1 hour, 10 minutes time. It's in an hour and 10 minutes, Liam's presser. I don't know if Colwell's fit and ready to play before the end of the season. I think maybe he might be given some minutes, but I think the wise thing is not to use him and not to rush him back. That would be my take on it. But again, it all depends on how his recovery is progressing. But given these are important games, given we're playing it for a lot, I'm not sure how much sense it makes to put Colwell back into the firing line, personally. But yeah, chat. We are going to round this one out here. Big up to every single one of you who has locked in. Appreciate you all. Love for the support as always, people. Make sure you smash the likes on your way out. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. That would be greatly appreciated. We're heading towards 21k now, so every new subscriber helps. So please do smash the subscribe button. As I said, smash the likes. We'll be back again tomorrow. I've got another Arsenal preview dropping with a special guest, so make sure you check that one out. That'll be dropping 9:30 a.m. UK time tomorrow morning, and we'll be live tomorrow as well, doing some more build up to the game. So make sure you stay tuned in and locked in for that content, people. But yeah, love for the support. It's Chelsea PSG in the Champions League. Big game against Arsenal Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'll be back later on if there's any major news from the presser, but I don't think there will be. Until then, guys, up the Chelsea as always, and I'll catch you lot again tomorrow. Peace.